just trimmed around the edges of this one. It's just a little, about 8 1/4 inches. I've finished embellishing it with different embroidery stitches, which are really nice. We've got circles, hearts, squares. Look at the hearts there. Flowers, zigzags, open circles, all sorts. So I've sort of zigzagged around the edges to seal it. Now I'm going to attempt to turn this into something. I've got some buttons that I made that I'm hoping to be able to use on these bags or sunglass holders or whatever they want to be used for. So I'm looking forward to that. But yes, I suddenly realised I have 1 week before I leave, so I must get into it. I've got a 3-inch wide strip that I'm going to turn into my bias bundle. I would have loved to have put maybe one of Neill's ties around the edge, but the satin would wear away too quickly, so I decided to just use regular fabric. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to fold it in half and get a seam, and then I'm going to phone each end into that seam. The fabric I've chosen for the lining, it's a special piece of fabric to me. I knew I'd find a special person to use it for one day, and that's for my girls. So I'm going to use that. So what I'll do is I'll measure it the same as the outside. I'll turn this over, and then I will place the lining on the on there as well. Lining underneath. So I'm just going to check which way is. That's definitely brighter. Okay, so I'm actually going to face both the right sides facing each other, and then I'm going to sew them together with the binding. I changed my mind. What I've got here, because I need to line the back of the quilting, so I've got 2 layers, and the great thing about this fabric is it's reversible. So there's no front and back. So there we are. So the bag will be lined, and at the same time I'm going to put the binding on. So I've unpicked it once, we'll see how we go. There we are. So just a little 1/4 inch seam at the same time. I've done the bias binding around 3 sections, and that's the inside and that's the front. So I've just got to trim this here, and then I can finish the bias binding and we can sew the sides and sew the button on. Well, I've got to the stage of the bias binding around it now. Check out that lovely embroidery stitch of hearts. I've joined 2 of Neill's ties. Luckily I had 2 the same together, and yeah, I did try it with material as opposed to silk ties, and it just didn't look right. So I'm actually using the silk ties. As you can see, it really makes it pop. And then from there, I will be, these are the lugs to attach the, they'll be like that. There, yeah. And then the top will come down and over the other ties there. It's been made with a lot of love for you, Sammy darling. I hope you like it. All your daddy's work in there, all your daddy's ties, memories. Hope you love it, darling. And a few little crystals just to catch the light. A few more up here. Just that little area. I've got to trim those bits of thread. Just there this particular tie is very fine, and I was worried that there was going to fray. So I sewed on some crystals there, beautiful crystals, and there, and here, just picked them up occasionally. And then as a surprise, underneath, I've sewn on some more tie points. Inside it's got another pocket and hearts. I've just got to sew it together now, and I'm going to do that.